Good morning. It is Monday morning, and this is the Monday morning masterclass for polars who choose to live a better life. And I am Jennifer Rollins. Happy to meet you here. Hi, Laura. I've been thinking about you this morning. I'm so happy to see you. I'm going to send you a message today because I have some ideas I want to run by you and check in with you down in Argentina. I'm so happy to see you, sister. I am shuffling our cards. Good morning. Shuffling some cards, just waiting on people to jump on this morning before we get started. And I'm going to pull a card for all of us. Good. Ooh. Enlightened heart and mind. Enlightened heart and mind. Active versus passive. Let's see what that means. So this morning we are talking about trauma. And I'll post this, the meaning of this in the group in a bit. This morning we're talking about trauma. And it is safe to say that all of us have experienced some sort of trauma. Even being born and coming through the birth canal is a traumatic experience. And some of that even lives in our subconscious sometimes. So getting to the root of our trauma can sometimes take a long time, but transmuting it can happen just instantly. And that's alchemy. And when we transmute something to turn lead into gold, it's alchemy. It changes it completely. The caterpillar going to the butterfly, it's complete alchemy. And there might even be some trauma involved there when the caterpillar goes to liquid to become butterfly. So maybe all beings experience trauma in some way, but I want to talk to you about trauma, even emotional trauma. Even if somebody says to you, I hate you, or you're not worthy, or you suck. That's traumatic for your being to hear that, because our being is divine and perfect. And so when we hear these traumatic words, it can even resonate in us. So something even as words or as violent as rape, it can be traumatic. So we can experience trauma on all different levels. And we all experience it differently as well. So we all take it in and receive it in our bodies differently. And so when we have trauma and we experience trauma and then we don't move from the trauma, then it festers in our body. And then that's where disease sets in. So maybe you could share a trauma with me right now that maybe you've had a hard time moving through. I'm going to share this journaling technique that I've used for myself to help me get through trauma. And now with this tool, I can recognize when trauma is coming into my experience to go ahead and start doing the work right away so that I'm not carrying it with me, because that's when we tend to fall into our shadow. So it's really amazing to have this tool and these techniques to be able to use so that we can stay more fit and healthy. So when we experience trauma, for example, last week in the United States, collectively, there was a trauma politically. So many people were captivated by that trauma that was happening, this violent trauma that's happening. And then it gets stuck in their bodies. So what I love about pole yoga is that it actually moves it from our body. We can actually move the trauma and we can release it so that it doesn't get stuck into our body. So if you have the pole yoga journal, if you have the pole yoga guide, in the journal in the back, there's lots of journal prompts that can help you identify what your emotional traumas are, or even some physical traumas. It talks about that as well. Where do you carry your tension and how do you cope with the pain? What are your sleep patterns like? If you're not getting great sleep, then there's a chance that your circadian rhythm is out of balance, and there's a chance that that could be coming from deep-rooted trauma that you haven't dealt with. So when we use the journaling techniques to write it down, so go back to a time, so get your journal out and go back to a time in your life when you experienced trauma. What's the first thing that you think about when I say, what trauma have you experienced? And write that down. And write it down and write as long as you can write, and then go to the poll. And then once you poll it out, then go back to the journal and then continue to write to see what that trauma is teaching you. Because trauma happens, it's a teacher for us. So that's why as soon as something happens, we can say thank you and be grateful for it. And what lesson does this have to teach us? So it's really important also to go back to your journal after your poll so you can ask your trauma, what are you teaching me? What lesson do I have to learn? And then you become grateful for it. And then that's where you can transmute it. Not when you try to fix it, not when you try to change the situation, not when you go into blame, but when you take that full responsibility, your ability to respond, and then you can go in there and you can mine for the diamonds in that trauma. Because within every trauma is a seed of opportunity for growth for our soul. And I know that that is true. So next time you're going through something, maybe you're going through something right now and you don't know why you're going through it. Get out your journal. Journal it out. Journal it out. Journal this trauma that you're going through. Then go to your poll. And I'm going to leave a link in the comments here of a pole yoga session that I did earlier a couple months ago with Melly. And it's on YouTube, and she did the tuning bowls, the sound bowls, and you can use that session. It's a free session, and you can use that session for this technique. So you can use your journal, use that journaling technique about just journaling about your trauma, not about how you want to change it, just your feelings about it. Just give your feelings space. Give it space to actually breathe and exist outside of your body. And then go to the pole and be with your body and use that session that's going to help balance your chakras. And then go back to your journal and give your body space again to see what's coming out. Because when things happen to us, it really is our opportunity for growth. And when we can look at traumas as these opportunities, and then we can really learn the true value in our life rather than just blaming people and being stuck in that, because that builds up to disease in our body. And that's where cancer and heart disease and stroke, that's where that stuff can originate from. It's these old traumas and anger and hatred and resentments that we're not letting go of. No matter what the other person has done to us, it's our ability to respond that is going to give us the power to transmute that trauma. It's not saying that whatever happened with the trauma wasn't bad or it didn't affect you. It's just saying it no longer has the ability to live in me and to drag me down, and I'm going to change it. And this is my seed for growth. And this is where I'm going to find out who I really am. And this is when I'm going to know that I can make it and I am a survivor, and then I can get into thriving. But if you're always just in a state of perpetuating the trauma, then you cannot elevate into a creative state of awareness. You cannot elevate from trauma to greatness without doing some work, some real tangible work. Otherwise, you're just going to sit in stagnancy. And it's complacency. And it builds in your body. You know, we all can eat food, and if you're in stress mode, your body is going to store it and react different than if you eat food and you're in joy. So dealing with our trauma and forgiving those that are involved in it, it's not about the other person. It's about what we're carrying in our own selves. And that, my sweet friends, is the most important thing that each of us can do right now on this planet. We have the greatest opportunity that we have ever had, ever. We live in the greatest time. I am talking to Laura in Argentina and South America in real time. We have such amazing opportunities, such amazing technology. Our minds and our hearts are so brilliant and beautiful, and we have everything we need right inside. So any transgression or anything done against you, let's work on forgiving and let's work on elevating, because that's what we need right now. We need people to step into their genius and to step into their light and to have solutions. But if we're all caught in our traumas and worrying how we're just going to survive, then none of us are going to be able to elevate. So it takes every single one of us. We are still basing our science off of books single men wrote over 100 years ago. One person makes a difference. One person. That's it. One person makes a difference. So today, just by you saying, I'm going to deal with my trauma, I'm going to do something to move myself out of this trauma. I'm not going to sit here today and I'm not going to bitch and I'm not going to gripe and I'm not going to complain and I'm not going to perpetuate and tell the same story over and over and over and over and over again and sit in this place of I can't because this happened, or I can't move forward because I am this. That you're going to say, I am perfect where I am at now, and I have all the tools I need to move forward and to rise up. And that's what you're called here to do. You're called here to serve, and to serve means to heal our own selves. We cannot serve another. We cannot serve our family. We cannot serve our partners. We cannot serve God. We cannot serve any other thing if we are not taking care of ourselves. So it is in this action of releasing trauma, transmuting it, not just releasing it, because we don't want to release it to the world. We want to actually change it. And with this practice, we can change it. We can take the trauma and we can find those nuggets of gold, because they're there. They are there. If you are here and you are hearing my voice, then every single thing that you have gone through has been for a purpose, and it has been for something. I'm so grateful that we are here to share and to experience this life together. This beautiful earth has so much to offer, and we are so incredibly gifted to be here at this time. So I'm so happy to be sharing pole yoga with you, and I'm so happy to share this technique. Journaling can literally save your life, and it can help you recraft your life into the life that you desire. Write it down, write it down. If you want to let it go, write it down, burn it. You can change it. You can transmute it. You are not captive to the story and to the situations that happened to you or to your family in the past. When we do this work, we are upgrading our DNA, and that means 7 generations in front and 7 generations behind. And I believe that with my soul. So this work that we're doing is for our family. It's for our lineage. This is generational health that we're doing when we step to the pole. So that's why I'm so thrilled to share this work, because it's necessary right now for all of us to do the work for ourselves. All right, if you need a copy of the Pole Yoga Guide so you can get the journal in the back that will help you go deeper into this work, it's on holisticplus.com, and I will send you a signed copy. And if you still need your pole, again, holisticplus.com has all of your needs. And if you have gotten on our email list, if you haven't, then be sure to do that so that we can communicate. I'm putting out some content on YouTube that I don't want you to miss. And if there's any glitches in our social media, then I want to make sure that I can still communicate with you through email so that we are connected, and know that when you poll, that you are polling with a group of pollers. You are connected into this inner web of pollers who are saying yes to themselves, who are saying yes to lighting up this world. So it doesn't take a lot of people to make a big change. So when you poll, you're actually doing something. You're contributing to the collective consciousness raising. So know that we are made up of particles that are vibrating out into the world, and that this practice is your magic tool to change your vibration, because what you put out comes back. All right, I'm so grateful that things are going amazing in elevated existence. These poses hold codes, and we are learning all of the codes in elevated existence. And I just love sharing it and connecting with all of the polars. It's so amazing to be spreading and to watch pole yoga really truly be saving the world. It's so amazing what happens when we step to the pole, and I'm so excited about it. This Wednesday, we are starting the diastasis recti series. So if you've had any trauma in your abdomen or you have a weak pelvic floor, then we are going to do a whole series focused on that. So that's an elevated existence, and I would love to have you join us over there. All right, have a wonderful day today. Oh yeah, I also posted a video on YouTube, and I shared it in the group here of our adventure in Colorado with the loop of poles, and it was just an amazing adventure. So be sure to check that out and invite your friends that you think that would like pole yoga as well. Invite them to the group. I really do appreciate you bringing your friends here. It's so amazing to use the pole with your friends. Last night in the Elevated Existence group, my partner and I, Thomas, did a couples session, and it was really amazing to be able to share that and to see other couples coming together. Last night we did the prayer, the Ho'oponopono prayer, which is also a really great one. I'm actually going to say that now since this has been about trauma. I'm going to just throw this in. I didn't expect to do it, but I do want to share it. And it's, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. So last night, after we pulled together, we said that prayer to each other 3 times, looking in each other's eyes. And it's just really amazing, the sacred space that's created when you pull with your partner. So that session last night is in the vault. So anybody in Elevated Existence has access to that. So you can use that with your husband or with your best friend. It's just amazing that you can use the one pull for 2 people. So that's what this practice is really about. And you're going to hear us exploring even more of that in 2021. Holistic Plus is all about uniting. All right, I will see you next time at the pole, my friends. Namaste.